Hey guys, don't mind my scalp, it's slightly blue. I just dyed my hair yesterday. I just wanted to kind of do a really casual sit down video talking about relationships. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the struggles that people go through when you're single, when you're in a relationship, and just kind of hope that I could maybe give some advice about some of the things that I've gone through, and hopefully maybe help a couple people out there who may be wanting some help. Alright, so the first thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is not being afraid to wait for somebody. So I know that when I was in high school, the pressure to be in a relationship and to find that person that you loved and to make the next move was a really big thing. You always felt that pressure. You were constantly being surrounded by couples that just seemed so happy and like they had found their forever. You know, it was one of those that even while I was in high school, I always felt that pressure to be in a relationship, even if I didn't, necessarily wasn't head over heels for the person that I was with, but to be in that relationship so that I could take those cute pictures and, post on Facebook and Instagram and, make myself be happy, show the world that I was happy. And especially when I was a senior in high school, to find somebody that I wanted to go to prom with. It was that pressure to be with somebody. And looking back on it now, I wish that I hadn't, almost forced myself to find that relationship, forced myself to be with somebody and, be happy. Looking back on it now, I wasn't head over heels for this person like I made it seem. Looking back, I realized that I made myself feel something for somebody and, force myself to have feelings for somebody that honestly, if I'd been true to myself, I didn't have as many feelings for this person as I had made it seem. Because I wanted that person that I could go to prom with, and I saw my friends, and I had so many friends that were in such long-lasting relationships, and they were happy. And that's all I wanted, was to feel that happiness. And I wish I had taken that time and just been happy with myself and focused on myself and who I was during that time, instead of forcing myself to be in that relationship and trying so hard. But so I dated the same guy for a good portion of my senior year, and then it sounds awful, and I swear to God, I hope he never watches this. I had originally planned to date him while I was in high school, and have that person that I went to prom with and I graduated with, and the next thing I know is it's after graduation and I'm still forcing myself to be with this person because it's what I was used to and we were comfortable together, and I wanted that happy relationship that, oh, I met this person in high school and we've been together ever since. And I loved his family, and so I just kind of stayed with him, stayed where I was at, and I honestly, I wasn't that happy. And looking back on it now, I wish that I had, ended it earlier than what we did. And it was still hard when we ended it. But I think it was hard because of the fear of being alone more than it was losing that person. And I think that was a big thing for me, was the fear of being alone was such a big one when I was younger. And, you know, like I said, I feel like I'd forced myself into this relationship because I didn't want to be alone. And so that fear of being alone was still extremely there by the end of the relationship. And, you know, even just a couple days later, I realized how much happier I was and how unhappy I actually was in the relationship. And how unhappy I was, you know, forcing myself to, you know, be with this person and like this person. So that's something that I just kind of wanted to share with you guys, and just, you know, I know that the fear of being alone is in a lot of people, and you see everybody that you're going to school with and all your friends, and they're happy and they're in a relationship, and you want that. And trust me, things come when they're supposed to. You know, don't force it. Don't force yourself to be in a relationship or have feelings for somebody that, you know, isn't actually making you as happy as you should be. And, you know, don't be afraid to wait for that right person to come along. I wanted to be with somebody right then and there. And so I forced things to happen, and I was looking for somebody, and it just happened to be that that was the person that came along. You know, what I want to say to you guys is wait for that person, you know, to come along. And, you know, people say it all the time, love comes to those who aren't looking. And I 100% agree with that statement. You know, I was looking for somebody, and I found somebody that was acceptable. But, you know, a couple years down the road, when I was not looking, I didn't want to be in a relationship. I was, you know, been broken up with, and I was heartbroken, and I was dealing with that and bettering myself. And when I was okay. I was happy being alone, and I wanted to, you know, I wanted to focus on myself and enjoy myself, and, you know, was finally learning to love who I was. That's when I found, you know, the person that I'm with now and that I can actually see a future with. So, you know, we all have those people that, you know, maybe we force ourselves to be upon because, you know, for whatever reasons. But I just want you guys to know that if you're not 100% happy in the relationship that you are in, get out of it. It is completely okay to be single and to focus on yourself. You know, I think that you definitely need to learn how to love yourself before anybody else can ever, you know, fully love you the way that they are supposed to. And, you know, you need to be able to love yourself and put everything you have into yourself in order to become the best person that you can be, in order to let others in and, you know, love you and who you're supposed to be. So, you know, we've all had bad relationships. We've had those relationships that you thought were the one and it ended up destroying you. We've all been there. But I promise you, good will come out of it. You know, and when you're in those relationships, just make sure that you are taking out any little thing that you can to make it a learning experience. You know, you're gonna learn what to look out for, what caused that to be a bad relationship, and, you know, yeah, unfortunately, when we get out of those relationships, we're always going to have those insecurities, those things that, you know, reasons that you broke up that maybe you feel are your fault. I don't know where I'm going with this. Don't be afraid to let people in, but also make sure that you're letting the right people in and when you're ready. You know, if you're not completely happy with who you are and, you know, the best version of you that you could imagine, don't force yourself into that relationship. Don't jump quite yet. You know, everything happens in time, and I fully stand, you know, believe in that. I believe that things happen when they're supposed to, and, you know, if something is presented in front of you, that's because that is your plan. That is the journey that you are supposed to be on. And when you are least expecting it, when you are not ready, I promise you that right person will come to you. You know, I'm just making this video because I had watched a video you know, right after I'd gone through a really bad breakup about believing in yourself and bettering who you are, and that things happen when they're supposed to. And it was really eye-opening for me, and it really helped me get through what I needed to in that time. And sure enough, everything that was said in that video happened. You know, I found love in myself, and the person that I'm with came along when I was 100% not ready for it, or not looking for it. But, you know, at that time, I was ready, even though I didn't know that I was. And I'm just making this because I hope that I can help at least one person in the way that, you know, that video had helped me. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or, you know, want any more advice, leave it in the comments below. I will try and, you know, answer back to anybody that I can. And I hope to be able to make more videos of like this if I know kind of what you guys are looking for. So, all right. Bye guys, have a good one, and always love yourself.